car to heat up, I figured might as well, continue this one since it did kind of. I accidentally pushed the power button on my phone to lock it, so I actually ended up talking for like 2 more minutes, and then I looked at my phone and I realized that's weird. When it go blank. So, yeah, no, I accidentally turned off my phone in the last one of this. So, continuing on with what if Naruto absorbed a spiritual nexus? And yes, they are pretty much the Digimon frontier 10 spirit warriors, the 10 legendary warriors. I'm just making it where 10 former shinobis, each with unique elemental properties, had cultivated themselves, their skills. They had a unique summoning contract, each their own. It required them to fuse with their summoning contract and elemental spirit to create the 10 legendary warriors. The 10 legendary warriors eventually, entered the Nexus where they could live peacefully as spirits, forsaking their physical form, for it has aged and their bodies had grown old and decrepit. But now, with this boy Naruto Uzumaki, they are able to lend their powers out yet again, as they were aware of what had happened during the age of Kaguya and the age of Six Paths and everything that had happened. They are even before that, because fuck it, why not? Power before Kaguya. So, Naruto has 10 different quote-unquote nature chakras. But that's not what matters. Where I last left off was Naruto pretty much propositioning Temari, saying, hey, I'll give you this much money if I can eat you out. Fuck you! She slaps him. Naruto's just like, I do like it rough, but oh well. As before he goes, he looks at her. As then he says something that, does make her kind of nervous. Naruto would explain how, in his fight, when he entered Sage Mode, he must have been, insane, but he could have sworn that he felt, some Sand Force shinobis and sound just outside of the village in the forest. I'm gonna have to go look. Enjoy your match with Shikamaru, as Naruto would actually pull out a kunai as he starts spinning and twirling. As Temari's just like, what the? Don't tell me he sensed? As, Naruto, he's saying, well, if you don't focus in your fight with Shikamaru, you're gonna end up like your teammates out in the forest, by the way. As Naruto clutches his kunai and says, light style, Lobo Kendo, as the chakra around Naruto engulfs him and goes to the kunai, creating this light katana made out of his kunai. As he looks at Temari one last time, as, he just shakes his head. He was just like, just know, as he points the blade towards her, and then towards the forest, they're gonna die. As Naruto disappears into pure white light, as Tamari's just like, no! As she runs towards Kankuro and Gaara and Baki. As she explains, there's an issue. We have a problem. That kid who just fought, the one who just used that weird power thing with the red markings, Sage Mode, whatever that thing's called, apparently he sensed our forces and now he's going. What? No! He's gonna ruin the plan! As, sure enough, before, they could leave, Temari would get called in for her fight in Shikamaru, Baki saying he would go take care of it, as Naruto would casually appear behind them and would drop a bag. This bag collected the entire headbands of sound and sand shinobis. As Naruto, he just threw the bag at Baki. It's a duffel bag. As Baki feels the clanking metal, as he looks at Naruto, Naruto just smiles at him. As Naruto's eyes go pitch black, Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro see this still. As Naruto, with a distorted voice, would say, I warned you. I gave you well, I guess, no, you didn't warn them. My bad. Well, I guess now that they're gone, your sand friends, your sound allies, All that's left is your Kazekage. Well, keep this in mind. While the sand and sound have lost a significant amount of manpower. Naruto looks at them with his eyes still pitch black. He honestly tells them this. Don't worry. The leaf will gladly take over your land, just like we will the sound. And I'll be there to make sure that we annihilate you all. As Naruto's eyes then go back to blue, as he smiles, as, he looks at Temari. He says, good luck with your match, by the way. As Naruto turns into pure darkness and disappears into the shadows. As Baki, Kankuro, and Temari switch up, while Gaara has this hate boner ready to kill Naruto for daring to, challenge him and Mother. Well then, you cocky blonde bastard, let us see what you can do. As the fight with Temari kind of ends with her losing because she was unfocused and Shikamaru would take full advantage of it, trapping her in with a kunai at her chest as he said, just give up and it's over. Temari would surrender as Shikamaru would let go of his shadow possession as he's saying, good thing, because another minute of that, I would have had no chakra. At least now I have time to rest. As Shikamaru would walk away, Temari, Kankuro, Gaara, Baki, they're all like, fuck. See, here's where things get kind of interesting. When Kabuto would show up and heal Hinata, just before the fight with Sasuke and Gaara, because Sasuke hasn't shown up yet, but Naruto would actually stop Kabuto. Now, Kabuto, he's in his white, robed, masked Anbu outfit, as, Naruto tells him, you should go to your lord and let him know that the sand and the sound have been wiped. As now I'm looking see, everyone else thought it was because Naruto meant that, Temari lost, Kankuro forfeited, and now Gaara's about to get his ass beat by Sasuke. So they're all like, yeah, the sand totally got crushed. And that sound kid never even showed up. But Kabuto knew what Naruto was saying because there was something, that seemingly came into Kabuto's possession in his palm shortly after leaving Naruto and alone with Hinata. As, Hinata was still coughing up a fit, but Naruto ended up healing her, which, she would be like, no! He disappears right after he finishes healing her. Everyone's just like, wait, what's Naruto doing? He just came to help Hinata, but why is he leaving? Well, I guess they're still kind of meh on the with the ramen girl. They would then hear a voice yell, her name is Amy! Often, down from the hallway. As they're like, well, shit, someone's protective. As, Hinata, she's thinking, could Naruto-kun do all that stuff with her? Would she taste different than the ramen girl? Why would Naruto want the ramen girl? Does she taste like ramen? And, yeah, I always wanted to make that joke too, by the way. So, Hinata kinda is left questioning what to do right now. Naruto, he's chilling. Waiting at the top of the stadium, waiting for Kabuto and Orochimaru to do their bullshit. But, this is where things change. As, you would have the white mask Anbu who would go to the Kazekage and say, this is from your daughter. She's apologizing, she asked to give this to the Kazekage since I was on my way here. As the, fake Anbu, which Hiruzen notices this isn't the normal Anbu, so he's confused as he's looking at, ooh, gotta be careful. As, Hiruzen's looking at the fake Anbu, and then at the Kazekage, and he's just like, well, something's kind of sus about that. Kabuto would then disappear, and Hiruzen wouldn't say anything. Orochimaru would lift up the scroll and saying, yeah, Naruto wiped out all sand and sound. Gone. Baki has all the headbands, and there is a fuck ton of blood. Now, Orochimaru would, visibly be angered. Something about, the note. Hiruzen would ask him, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay? As he's saying, no, it's just my foolish daughter. She thinks writing an apology letter could, make my punishment more lenient on her. But such disgrace would not be forgiven. As, the third is just, you kind of acting sus as fuck, but Now, as I was saying, Hiruzen would kind of not be trusting of the Kazekage. And, well, as of right now, at the moment, they don't know what to do. Sasuke would appear, and the fight would still go as normal with, the stabbing of the arm. But when Shikaku starts to, let loose, there's no shinobi forces to attack, so they're like, fuck it, Gaara, just blow up in the goddamn stadium. Which he tries, and keyword is tries, as Shikaku is starting to form her own Gaara, Naruto is just saying, well, time to do my thing. As he collapsed both hands together, making the snake hand sign, which is just when Hashirama would do a lot before he would do the deep forest emergence, as Naruto from the top of the stadium would yell, Sage Art! Wood Style! Giant Wooden Binding Jutsu! As the jutsu says, wooden binds would appear, wrapping around Shikaku and Gaara, causing their chakra to leak out. But there's more to it, as tendrils then shoot out and wrap around. They actually go grab Kankuro, Temari, Baki, shoot out towards the Kazekage. And Orochimaru has to, do his explosion and the Sound 4 come out protecting him. As, the three Sen siblings and Baki, they're captured by the wood bindings and all their chakras being siphoned out. As a wood branch would start to appear, going towards Naruto. And a fruit would start to form as it drops in Naruto's palm, as the four people were unconscious. Shukaku, his chakra was completely sucked out of him. Naruto, he's just looking at the fruit. It's about the size of a decent orange. Naruto is just like, nice. As he opens his mouth, pops it in, eats the fruit. Everyone then feels a rush of chakra. An explosion of energy comes off of Naruto. Naruto stands before Orochimaru and his Sound 4 goons. As Hiruzen and Jiraiya then appear right next to Naruto, Naruto saying, alright then. He cracks his neck. He looks at Jiraiya and Hiruzen, and he tells, you two, take on his lackeys. I owe Orochimaru some ass whooping. As Orochimaru chuckles as he's saying, oh, Naruto, just because you might have gained Sage Mode doesn't mean you are ready to fight against me, Lord Orochimaru. You're still a few 2 centuries short of training, as now I will show you the true power of the Great Fruit. As everyone was surprised, Naruto yeeted his light Lobo kendo sword, as Orochimaru was just seeing this weird kunai with this purple white light chakra going through, as not only does it burn his insides on the content that it's making, he feels it ripping out his chakra, as if in order to keep the blade sustainable, it's using his own chakra to hurt him. And Orochimaru's just like, you little, as Naruto, he on him, as Naruto already point blank with fire style pyro tornado, as Naruto would blow fire tornado right at Orochimaru point blank. The Sound 4 did not even notice Naruto getting in the way, as Orochimaru gets hit in the chest, sent flying back, as Orochimaru coughs up blood, uses a snake substitution to spew out of his body. Naruto on him again, as Naruto would grow wings. Everyone saw Naruto grow harpy wings, the same wings that would be for the wind spirit, as Naruto's saying, Sage Art, wind style, harpy wings, as the wings would form. Naruto would take off into the air, rushing towards Orochimaru, spin kicking him back into the stadium. As, the sound for like, hold the fuck up. As they land in the stadium around Orochimaru, Stage 2 curse marks activated as Naruto lands before them, Sage Mode activated as Naruto's saying, alright then, I'm like 99% sure, as he looks over to Jiraiya and Hiruzen, who, they didn't really move. Naruto's saying, I thought I told you to take care of these 4. Fine. As Naruto quickly blitzes through some hand signs as he then says, Sage Art. Dark Style. Dark Style. Everyone, was taken back by that. Even Orochimaru. What? As Naruto would out of nowhere pull out this black kunai, yet again, as darkness envelops it, making it into the negative version of his sword. The opposite of his Lobo Kendo, as he then says, Leo Saber. As it looks different. Then Naruto, he takes a stance, as then he's saying, Sage Art, Dark Style. Ominous Nebula, as this dark chakra glows from Naruto, as then the Sound 4 and Orochimaru feel themselves being pulled towards them. Everyone else, they feel this gravitational pull of darkness grabbing them, asking for them to be sucked towards it. And as that very instant, you barely have Saikon and Ukon who were able to go summoning jutsu to bring out their Rashomon Gate, which, just barely, he threw his blood towards the ground so it would appear before them, but it was in the range of Naruto's swing, so the moment it explodes into existence, there was another bigger explosion, and then you hear just swat, 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 swat. People get swatted into the fucking stadium rings. Their bodies are cut up. As Orochimaru just looks at Naruto, baffled at the strength that this boy has. As Naruto looks at him and he's saying, well, how do you like me now? Tell me, Orochimaru, how does it feel to know that you're weaker than me? A lonely beginning that you tried. I dropped my keys. Sad. Back to the what if, as Naruto would be like, a lonely beginning that you tried to take out. You might have said that I'm a few centuries too early to take you on because I'm not trained. Well, Orochimaru, let me ask you this, as he runs through some hand signs, as then he's saying, Steel Style. Silver Mercury Morning Star, as from the ground, thousands of liquid metal-like substance, it's mercury. Pausing real quick. Alright then, now this one is going to be shorter. I know, I just kind of came back. I don't really have a lot of time, and rather than, stop doing this, I'm going to talk a little bit longer, get more into the story, and then when it's like, whatever I can get in like 15 to 20 minutes is going to be posted. So, back to the what if, as now something fun will happen. See, Orochimaru, after having his servants get their shit slapped, that was the reverse signal. I am backing out of a place. Now, as I was saying, Orochimaru, seeing his servants get slapped, kinda is nervous, but at the same time, he's intrigued at how Naruto has grown so strong. As he spits out his Kitsunagi blade, he rushes towards Naruto, trying to beat his Leo Saber, as Naruto would pull out another kunai and then say, Sage Art, Light Style, Lobo Kendo, as a white blade forms, as Naruto is dual wielding this bitch, and Orochimaru was not expecting this shit. What also he was not expecting is the fact that Naruto, while they were clashing, like Orochimaru has brought down his sword, Naruto is blocking with an X, as, here's the thing, Naruto, he smiles at Orochimaru, saying that he's left himself open. Orochimaru saying, what? No, Naruto would stomp as a wood spike, would appear, hitting Orochimaru with the 1,000 years of death, as Orochimaru is just like, Jesus, Kabuto, the fuck? Naruto is just like, oh, hell no. As he spin kicks Orochimaru out of his way. Orochimaru's just like, ah, you brat. Ah, that fucking hurt. As Naruto's just like, I am deeply disturbed that did not do the damage I thought it would. As Naruto, he just, shakes his head as he plants both of his blades into the ground right next to him. Orochimaru saying, foolish boy, you should never drop your weapons. As Naruto saying, I am the weapon, bitch. As Naruto speeds through hand signs, as then he's saying, fire style, Phoenix Pyro Tornado. As Naruto would grow his wings yet again, but this time they are burning with an inferno of multitudes of color. You have the array of red, blue, green, yellow, purple, orange, white, flames just bedazzling off of his feathers as Naruto then spins rapidly. Think of how Sanji would do his Diablo Jambe, as slowly but surely a giant multitude of flames dance as the feathers that Naruto had created, worked and became something new, as his fire style of his Phoenix Pyro Tornado has actually done something. It stands before Orochimaru, ready to cut him down. As the giant flaming vortex goes towards him, Orochimaru's just like, what jutsu? I didn't know such power existed. As, he would use snake substitution and burrow deep into the ground, as the clone would get destroyed. Everyone is just seeing an array of amazement of flames, as when Naruto spreads his wings and starts spinning, the flames do, fall out, similar to the feather illusion jutsu. But here's where things get kind of complicated. Naruto literally floating up in the air, with the whole crowd staring at him. Kabuto never got time to do his feather illusion, by the way. Remember, he got caught by Naruto. So plans are desperately in need of alignment. As the Sound Four, three of them manage to escape. As what they do, as they look at Naruto, the three men look, as they yell at him, saying, "We leave you this girl in exchange for our lives." Naruto would, fly towards them at blinding speeds, decapitating Jirobo and Kirimaru, the spider guy. Because I don't want to say Kimimaru, because then I think of Bone Guy. But I know his name was very similar, so I'm going to just say Spider Guy, and Jirobo got their heads lopped off by Naruto. Naruto just stands there, as Saikon and Ukon, they were just legit split down the middle, half and half. Their bodies, one light, and the chakra from the Lobo Kendo blade has severed him, preventing him from extending his organs. The other one feels like it's being crushed and sucked into the darkness, as they both die painfully. One being burnt, the other one feeling pressure like no other before. As Naruto looks at Tayuya, and he tells her, "Surrender, and I will let you live." Tayuya would say, "Fuck you." Naruto would raise an eyebrow as, he's saying, "Is that a promise? Is that a bet? What do you want to do? What that mouth do?" As Tayuya looks at Naruto in bafflement that he would say such a thing. "You just killed my teammates and most of my fucking friends out there. I want to fucking beat your ass." Naruto's just like, can I spank yours? Tayuya, she growls at him as Naruto saying, "Careful now, I will get a ball gag." As Tayuya, she looks at him and saying, "I would rather..." As lightning courses through her back, as she sees a Naruto clone with a kunai covered in lightning stabbing her in the back, as the clone saying, "Yeah, we already knew. We just like to fuck around with you." As they pull the kunai from her back, as she falls dead, Naruto, he kind of just wiped out the sand and sound forces. Not all of them, but a good majority of them. Sound 4 decimated by him. Kabuto and Orochimaru have escaped. Well, Everyone's just looking at Naruto, as then Naruto decides to do something else. He goes over to the Sand siblings. He cuts them free. Baki too, by extension, but he doesn't catch Baki. Gaara's sand doesn't technically breaks his fall because of his score just turning into sand, but he's unconscious. Kankuro and Baki just fall. One hits the floor, the other one falls right on the other. But Naruto cuts down Temari as he sets her on the ground. He looks at Hiruzen and he straight up tells him, like, are you so old that you do not act, old man? As everyone is just like, hold the fuck up. Naruto, that is the... There's silence. No one's talking. Something's off about Naruto. They could feel it in his chakra as this illuminating rainbow-esque chakra starts to engulf him, slowly but surely, as they see colors, multiple, an array, fire, the red of fire, the blue of water, the yellow of lightning, the brown of earth, the wind of green, this in-between color of blue and green for ice, purple, pink. It's strange. Everything is just radiating off of Naruto as he's clenching his fist as he's looking at the third. He calls him out for never actually doing anything that his dad wanted him to. Naruto? Your father? Wait, no. As Naruto yells to everyone, I am Naruto Uzumaki, Namikaze, son of Kushina Uzumaki, and... I was about to say Naruto Minato. No, that's wrong. And then he's saying, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage. You villagers treated me like garbage for no reason other than someone telling you I had a fox sealed within me. Well, I'm glad to let you know that I'm going to get rid of him. And when I do, I'm gonna let him go. I don't need the fox. In fact, today's display of power was to show that I don't need the leaf, I don't need the fox, and I definitely don't need you. As he points to Jiraiya. As he calls him out, you, my godfather, I was named after one of your goddamn characters in your book. And you threw me off a cliff. Rather than tell me anything about why the fox is sealed within me, rather than give me any consolation, rather than ever coming to visit me my entire life here in this godforsaken village, all you would do is just look at naked women. I'm disgusted to call you my godfather. That decision was made without my consent. So note this, Jiraiya of the Sannin. I do not see you as such a thing. That title is meaningless to me, and you mean nothing as well. As Naruto would pull out his leaf band, like his forehead protector, he tosses it up in the air, and then with his two kunai swords, slices it in cross, cutting it into pieces, as everyone was shocked. Did Naruto just... As Naruto looks at everyone, as he tells them, and now, it's time that I make all you suffer. As Naruto would, from his hand, build all of that same chakra that he just had around his body. It swirls into one hand. He clenches his fist as he says this, Sage art, spirit style. Susanoo's fist! As he smashes it into the ground, creating a giant explosion as flames, ice, water, lightning, wood, steel beams, everything is just shooting out. And they're in awe. The entire Chunin Stadium was destroyed. Half of the village center is just destroyed. As Naruto stands there, he looks at everyone. No one was killed because he held back enough just to make sure everyone was just alive. Now, the Sand siblings and Baki, they're encased in this cocoon. It's weird. They all see them. It's just barely seeable as there's this weird light around them. Naruto says to the Hokage, like this one here, as he points to Gaara. He was mistreated by his village. His own father was the Kage and did something very similar. So, I'm going to drop him off. And then I'm going to go visit the Sound Village. After that, well, you'll find out. As Naruto disappears into pure darkness, the 4 people encased in light disappear. Everyone is in awe at what had happened. Now, slightly beforehand, Naruto would go send a clone to the old man and Amy, telling them that he's going to be leaving and that he's abandoning the Leaf Village. He's kind of done with their shit. They're like, what do you mean? And he just wanted the tuning exams to show off a little bit. Now that he did, he's going to go. If they want to know where, he'll be, traveling throughout the whole 5 nations. Right now, he's going to tell them a lie, saying that he'll be at the Sound Village, but nah. Look closer towards the in-between of the fire and the land countries where they meet. That's where I will be, as the clone would poof away into smoke, leaving the 2 to pack up their shit and leave, as, they would hear the commotion, and then, as they're leaving the village, the explosion and all that good noise happens. Now, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Wait a fucking minute. The Steel Style. Fuck. Yeah, the Morning Star Mercury thing. That shit would just be... Just imagine it slapping the shit and whipping the shit out of Orochimaru. Sorry, I forgot about it real quick, but some shit happens, and, well, I kind of have to clock into work right now, so... Behold, what if Naruto absorbed the Spiritual Nexus? Part 2? Fuck it, I don't care. I do work today all day, so I'll try, during my break to get another what if, but it'd probably be like a 30-minute one, so maybe 45, I don't know. Godspeed, everyone. I hope y'all have a fabulous day. I am the Vibe Kage, about to go to work.